we're streaming Zoom and YouTube. So I'll be answering all the questions for everybody right now. All right. So just share the link with them and we're good to go. Let me pull out the questions that we've gotten so far. Feedback. Yeah, but you can unmute yourself. I want to hear someone's voice. So if you're on Zoom, this is the opportunity for us to hear your voice. So I want to hear one person's voice, like feedback, while we start our Q&A. So yeah, someone is already on Zoom. Beautiful. Hey guys, thank you for bearing with us. We're starting 13 minutes later than scheduled. We're gonna run for 40 minutes, all things being equal, and we're gonna answer all the questions that have come in. Okay, whether about the challenge or about high BP reversal program or about your BP, whichever one, we're gonna answer all of that. Okay, so nobody is unmuting themselves. Can you guys hear me? Hey. Do you guys hear me? For our people on Zoom, do you hear me? Mrs. Chijoke, please find a way to tell me that you have that you people have shared the live stream on YouTube. Please. Just let me know that you guys have shared it on the live stream on YouTube so that everybody's here. 3 people are joining. Ah, beautiful. Our people are all here. Okay, so in the absence of any feedback, as you people are not dropping your feedback, I wanted you to unmute yourselves and speak, but nobody's unmuting themselves. So why are you on Zoom if you cannot speak? Thank you, Mrs. Chijike, for that. All right, so question number 1 that has come in, and thank you for everyone who sent in their questions. Okay, so this person is asking about someone. Okay, this person actually sent his by email. He was asking about back pain and ulcer. He wants to know if they are triggers for high BP. Okay, and because he's still on drugs, I didn't get everything he said, but he said he's still on medications and he wants to know how he's going to get off medication, something like that. So the answer to his question is yes, pain is a trigger. Pain is considered a form of stress to the body. And so pain can actually, like chronic pain can exacerbate and actually contribute to high blood pressure. So it's possible. And that pain is the back pain or ulcer pain. We've had like ulcers, serious ulcer, severe ulcer can actually be linked to high BP. So if that's what you're experiencing, I would say yes, that's the more reason why you should be reversing your high BP. We've had a woman, she was trying to fix the whole BP pain. She had this active ulcer and she had hypertension, and we said, you know what, try and work on the ulcer first, because if you're having active ulcer means like the ulcer pain is still there, you're having to treat it at the same time. So we said, you know what, work on that first and then work on reversing the high BP. But it just depends on what you're presenting with right now, like how severe is your own case and what are you presenting with. So it's possible to work on both of them at the same time, but you must if we're working with you, you will need to let us know, because there are certain adaptations you have to do to make sure that you're not stressing out your body and that you're not going hungry. Like whatever you do, make sure you're not going hungry for long periods and allowing the ulcer to progress. So you need to be managing both at the same time. That is one of the reasons that we always say it's good to have a healthcare professional in your corner to make sure that the procedure you're trying to do is not worsening the ulcer. All right, so that's really important. For instance, some people would maybe maybe the person also has weight loss and starts to do intermittent fasting, for instance. No, you don't do that, because you're doing intermittent fasting, you're fasting, it's worsening the ulcer, but you're trying to use it because you're trying to work on your BP. No, you need to be able to find best practices that are healing the ulcer at the same time working on the BP. So I hope that has answered the question. If you are here and that's your question, you can unmute yourself and let me know if we've answered your question. All right, so that's for that person. Some person was asking, so how do I know when I get off my medicines? So the process of getting off medicines, of getting off your BP medicines, which I know is the end goal for all of us on here. The end goal for all of us is, I want to get off my medicines. Yes or no? Okay. So what you really want to do, the process of getting off your medicines is called weaning. It's a weaning process. So that's why you don't drop. That's why if you notice all through this challenge, even your action plan workbook, we never said drop your medicines. We don't do that. It's a weaning process. If you notice, when we said freedom activation is when you start to get great numbers, ideally you go back to the doctor who's placed you on the medicines to say, oh, okay, oh, you were on two before, so let's move you to one. Like your BP is dropping. So ideally, the process is this: you're taking your medicines, and then you're doing your reversal. Then as your BP starts to drop, right, that's when you start to taper down on the medicines. So that's how it works. So you don't discontinue your drugs and say you're doing reversal. It doesn't work that way, because you're giving your body a lot of work to do, and most times it won't work that way, right? That's why all those people that tell you drop your drugs and take this thing, they don't even understand the way this thing works. Remember, we told you it's a body repair process. So body repair, it means that it's gradually that you're gonna be repairing your body. So it's until your body is completely repaired, you don't just toss your medicine. Did I answer your question? So when you get off your medicine is as your BP keeps dropping, then you start to get off little by little, little by little, little by little, until you get off all. That's why you would see, even like the testimonials or screenshots that we share with you, you'd see them saying, oh, I'm yet to go and tell my doctor, or I've told my doctor, or my doctor is surprised, or my doctor was happy and said continue, or and then I'll say, oh, did you tell? And that's why we say you've got to be tracking. You have to be writing down all your numbers, because that's what you're going to take to your doctor, and your doctor is going to see what you've been doing, and that's what they're going to base their taking of your medicines on, not based on what you say to them. No healthcare professional, no doctor is going to take off your medicines without seeing proof of what you've done. All right, so that's where tracking comes in, like effective tracking comes in. Tawakalitu, good evening. Thank you, Madam Tawakalitu. I see your chat. All right, so let me keep looking at the questions on here. Okay, let me pull it up a spreadsheet. Okay, so another question on here. This person is asking about so I kept telling this white coat, the person that kept asking a white coat to come on here and let's talk about, we're going to talk about it today. So white coat hypertension. So white coat hypertension, I think I answered that question yesterday though. So for white coat hypertension means, and many of us may be experiencing stuff like this. So white coat means when you see a white coat, basically your BP jumps up. It's a full training that we do in the high BP reversal program, right? But here's the whole premises. The reason that we actually devote a full training on it is that it's something that happens to a lot of people. The moment you go to the hospital to check your BP, your reading starts to jump up. Like maybe at home you get 120, 130, but over 70. But when you get to the hospital, you're getting something like 160 over 100, 170 over 100. That is called white coat, right? So it is not something that you ignore, because even when you go, if you do any bit of research, you'd see they will tell you that white coat hypertension has been linked to heart diseases and all that. The reason is simple. It's an indication that there's still hypertension. Like a normal, like when I say normal, not like you're abnormal, right? But in a normally healthy, non-hypertensive person, we don't expect that kind of spike. Even if the BP spikes in the hospital, not to get to 160 over 100. So if it spikes to that, it means that there is still an underlying thing that has not been dealt with. And so that's why white coat hypertension, a lot of it is linked to, I said it yesterday, right? That is linked to your your mind, if you like, your mind, subconscious. So it's conscious mind and subconscious mind at the same time. Perhaps you had an experience, that made you. Yeah, thank you, Gina Logan. Thank you, Gina Logan. I'll look at your question. I'll look at your comment again. Sorry, that just popped up on the screen. So, it would make you, that if you had a nasty experience in the past, maybe something, an emergency with a hospital and all that, the moment you get into the hospital, you would have that spike. That is your subconscious mind playing out, right? So in that case, it means you need to do a lot more work on your subconscious mind. So you need to do a lot of subconscious reconditioning to be able to battle that. Now, what I stressed yesterday, which I will re-stress again, is this. If you already have existing high blood pressure, then that is where you want to start the work on. Not focusing on, let me get good readings in the doctor's office, because whatever you're getting is a spike above the high BP that was already there. So you want to reverse. When you've completely reversed the high BP and it's now the white coat that is left, it's kind of easier because everything you're now doing, you're now focusing 100% on your subconscious reconditioning. So that's where you start doing things like your deep breathing exercises, your affirmations, like we shared on, that was day 2, right, of this challenge, and things like that, right? So, but you have to first of all make sure that you have reversed the high BP. That is where you have to start with. So if you are the person that kept saying white coat, anxiety, it's a link to a something deeper. So first of all, solve the baseline. Solve the baseline, which is the high BP, that is reverse it, and then you can now work strictly on the mind subconscious reconditioning so that you stop having those jumps. And that is like next level, because at that point you've crushed both hypertension and you've crushed white coat. So I don't know if this answers your question. Um, yeah, so we have another question here by Madame Modupe. She says that this challenge has given her, I have the confidence, I have the confidence that I will come out of IBP based on the testimonials I've seen. I want to be really committed to the challenge, especially whatever comes up after lesson 4, and I'll do it for the OBS. And she has actually signed up to the IBP reversal program. I think she filled it even before we had this thing. She has also joined the IBP. Welcome, Ma. Proud of you. She says the real practical class will determine. Okay, if she gained anything. Yeah. So she says for her, the question is, what's her question? Is it really achievable? Oh, so her question is, yeah. So the question we actually asked here is, if you got the chance to sit down with me for 5 minutes, what would you ask me? So she said, is it really achievable to reverse high BP based on my past experience for more than 10 years now? I love her question because it's like real. Like she's asking, is it really possible? Like, oh yeah, tell me. If I'm sitting with you, tell me, is it really possible? So guys, what do you think the answer is? I know where that question is coming from. It's coming from a place of, have been battling this thing for 10 years. So is it really possible that in 3 months I can say that I have reversed this high BP that I've battled for 10 years? 10 years is what? 120 months. So I'll tell you what, it is possible. It is really possible. Your question is it really achievable? Yes, it is achievable. You just have to trust the process. One of the things we're going to be doing on lesson 1, which is actually happening on Thursday. So lesson 1, for everyone signing up, you're already doing your onboarding, you're already giving us all your star parameters. You know all those things that you filled in your lesson 1 of the action plan workbook. You're now going to give us. You know that one is your own copy and you filled it for yourself. Now you're going to give us those things because that's what we're going to be working with. And that's what we're going to be checking your progress against. Now, it is possible. You just have to trust the process. It's part of the mind. Someone was saying, what is this mind liberation and all that? It's part of the mind liberation and it's part of the mind detox. In your lesson 4, your action plan was write it down. Write down what you really want. It's part of the mind process. You have to believe it is possible for you. If you don't believe, there are 3 levels of belief you must have if you're going to reverse a 10-year-old disease. And once you have those 3 levels of belief, right, you're unstoppable. One of the women, Mrs. She, we're going to share her video by next tomorrow. She had had high BP for 8 years. I mean, 8 and 2 years, so it's almost close, right? She was on a challenge just like you. Exactly 3 months ago, we had that challenge in August. Yeah, July, August. So we started the cohort in August. We did it you. This was exactly the same thing. She had had it for 8 years. She was also the first woman, just like Mrs. Modupe was the first woman to sign up. But Amoraya was the first woman to sign up. And she got on the call after, challenge. She got on the call. I'm like, why should we work with you? She says, you know what? I believe this is going to happen for me. I've been trying, but you know what? Everything I've learned, if it has happened for this, it's going to happen for me. I am ready. I'm ready. That woman, that woman, 8 years, mark my words, 8 years of high BP struggle. 8 years, she was on 2 medications. You're going to see her video. We know they talk, this one no be long thing. 8 years. Our testimonials actually sound like magic. Sometimes it shocks us, but it doesn't shock us because we know that we have nailed the process. We've nailed it to the T, to the I. That woman in 2 weeks, I'm not even kidding you, something she had suffered for 8 years. How she did it, you'll see her video, right? In 8 years, in 2 weeks. By week one, when we put her through mind detox processes, week one, she halved all her medicines, halved everything because her BP dropped to 99/66. So the person that says, is it really achievable 10 years? It all depends on how you, like the way I love your energy levels. I love just speaking with you. I could tell, right, that you're ready. Once you're ready, high BP disappears once you're ready. So that I'm just sharing with you someone who did it, right? So also you can do it, right? So that's what I would say with that. Is it really achievable? Yes, it is achievable. I think that's the short answer. The long answer is all these other people's stories I'm telling you to actually motivate you that it's possible. Now, for someone that might be also watching it and saying, what if I don't join high BP reversal program? Am I going to do it in 2 weeks? I cannot guarantee you that you will do it in 2 weeks. I cannot guarantee you. Nobody can guarantee you, right? I mean, I cannot guarantee you because I know the level, like, and when I say the level of work, funny, it's not like we're going to sit with you for 5 hours. However, there is a science to these things. Being in the room when this happens, imbibing and soaking up what it is that you're learning. That woman, she said she watched her lesson 3 times. She watched her lesson 3 times. So she knows what she was soaking in, and it's just started to work magic for her. So that's what I would say. All right. Someone says, I know the next stage is going to, involve money, blah, blah. Please make it affordable so that everyone in this challenge can benefit and fight hypertension to a standstill. Yes, we are. And that's why we've made it that 150 flat rate for Nigerians, because it's $1,000 actually. But if you're joining from Nigeria, you're paying 150. And you also can do monthly. So don't ever think, 150. Just think 55. You can do it. It's affordable. Like if you really want to be here, you can be here. Now let me look at the other person. The person says, what are the things I need to start doing immediately to reduce my blood pressure? Because it's a lineage thing. Underline, it's a lineage thing. This person, who is this person? This is Emanuela. Thank you for this question. The thing that when I read your question was this, it's a lineage thing. I picked it. Now that is you holding on to why it's going to be difficult for you. One of the things that I shared with you on lesson 1 was that, yes, we acknowledge that, it could be your family, it could be in your family. I think when we also looked at lesson 2, we talked about triggers. We said, yes, maybe you're African, then it's even a race thing. If you have family that have it, yet it's a family thing. But I mentioned at that point that if you want to reverse high BP, remove all those things from your mind. It's a lineage thing. Fine. What makes it a lineage thing? Because your mom had it, maybe, or your dad, or your aunt, or your uncle. Fine. What if you stop having it? Then you cancel the lineage thing for your children. Literally. I mean, somehow your parents had it, right? Somehow they had it. But if you succeed in canceling it, then it stops being your lineage thing. Yes or no? So it's a lineage thing. It's just the excuse that helps us to believe that it's so hard and it won't happen for us. But what if we turn it around on our head, on this head, and says, so my family had it, but I don't want to have it. And that's how you cancel it in your life, right? So this person says, what are the things I need to start doing? What have you been doing in this challenge so far? We've already told you a whole lot of things to start doing, right? We've already taught you a lot of things. But if you now need for us to be working with you every step of the way of, oh, week one, tell you, start doing these practices for your mind, for mind detox. Let's start to clean out high BP from the mind, from the subconscious level. Then join us for high BP reversal program. Those are the things you need to start doing. You need to start working on your mind. You do that for 1 full week. Week two, we start to clean out your body. We do environmental sanitation on your body. We give you recipes, we give you guides, right? We give you everything. We literally handhold you throughout the process. But for things you need to start doing, we've already taught you that there are 3 levels. Your mind. We gave you affirmations. Use affirmations, right? That's one thing you can start doing. Have you been doing it? So it's one thing to go through challenge and say, wow, I learned a lot, eye-opening. But the ones that you learned, have you even been doing it? We taught you the using of the affirmations on day 2, and everybody was writing, I'm getting better, I'm crushing it. After that, have you said that thing again since then? Right? We taught you the SAM strategy. What have you subtracted since then? Right? So I know that, yes, these things are bits and pieces, but it's the framework that we've given you. So you can either decide to fill in all the blanks by yourself, or if you want us to fill in with you and make sure that you get your results. So it's a lineage in your mind. Don't believe, yeah, it might have been, but don't hold it as gold standard. I need one-on-one conversation with you. Yes, yes. If you're on this Zoom call, I think I'm going to still open up. I asked you guys to start speaking. Nobody spoke. But yeah, this is one-on-one conversation. And if you want continuous one-on-one access with me, please join the High BP Reversal program. We would always have one-on-one conversations. You always have access to me to ask any of your questions that you have. Please, Mrs. Chijoke, you people should drop the links for everyone who wants to book a call. They can book their call already. This person says, what can I do to stop fingers shaking and reverse my health back to normal? To stop fingers shaking, that sounds like tremor. If you're the person, Mr. Isaac, to stop fingers shaking and to reverse my health back to normal. So what could cause your fingers to shake? Now, it's either of two things, and this is for everybody listening. So one thing, if you noticed when we asked you to acknowledge in your lesson 1, when we asked you to acknowledge all your triggers, no, to acknowledge everything, all your complaints. There are 2 kinds of complaints you could have right now. Number 1 could be drug side effects. So it could be the drug you're taking that is causing you that side effect. Sorry guys, if you're on Zoom, I'm not even looking at the comments in Zoom. All I have open here is the questions, and then I'm just looking at this place. So guys, I don't know. Do you guys see me? Yes, I know you guys see me. Are there chats? Are there chats? Sorry, give me a sec. Let me just take a look at the chats for those on Zoom. Okay, there are chats as well, like messages that I didn't see. Okay, I can't see anything now. I'll look at it in a jiffy, but let me just continue because we have a lot of questions here. So it could be the drug side effects. So things like even libido. There are some drugs, some high BP medicines that actually affect your libido. Um, Number 2 is even this handshaking that you're talking about, it could be some of the medicines you're taking, or it could be signs of complication. Signs of complication means because the BP has been high for long periods, like someone that says she has had it for 10 years, the things you're experiencing in your body are, wear and tear that the high BP has brought on the body. I told you, uncontrolled high BP is what brings all these symptoms. So it means that over time, you probably have had many cases where your BP was always above 140/90. And trust me, you may have not felt any way different when your BP was higher than that. But over time, it starts to damage the organs. And so this handshaking you're experiencing could be signs of damage that the high BP has had on your body over time. Now, the best way out of this is not to go and find or to get a prescription drug for handshaking. Because you still have not solved the underlying problem of your BP being uncontrolled. So your BP has remained uncontrolled for a while, right? You have left it that way. You want to solve the problem from the roots. I told you about solving the problem from the roots. So what you really want to do is to reverse the high BP, move it back so that you would never be getting anything above 140 over 90 again. You start to get 120s, 110s, 100s over 70s. Now, when you start to get that, it removes that pressure on your organs, on your hands, on your nerves. What will start to happen is that you will start to notice a decrease in all that hand shaking. The second thing that will start to happen, because you are using a body repair process, so that would help your body to start to correct itself. I mentioned body alkalization during the meal planning stage. Yes, all those things will help to repair your body. So this thing that you're experiencing would start to drop. You said you want to stop fingers shaking and reverse your high BP to normal. This is how you do it over time. And then if you will give yourself time, maybe by 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, you'd notice that, oh, the whole thing has stopped. We have a client that she had constant headaches. The headache is here in the middle of her head, not even in front, at the middle. And the doctor told her specifically, there is no link between your food. There is no link between all these you people's healthy living, all those things, or your lifestyle and this headache. The doctor placed her on some antidepressant pills that she takes every night. But without that, she won't be able to sleep at night and the headache was always there. And she had pre-hypertension, which means sometimes her BP comes to 140 per night. That woman, she we've worked with her for 14 weeks right now, right? And do you know that that headache that the doctor told her could never stop? She has gone to the hospital. That same doctor has half the drugs, and right now she only takes that drug, that antidepressant, once a week, and she sleeps like a baby right now. Why? Because she has pushed back her BP numbers from 140s to very, very normal, and she has repaired her body. So even the doctor that said nothing links it, well, she has proved that she has used her lifestyle as her medicine. So whoever this is, I think that's Isaac. I would highly recommend, like, if you have not already, if you're already having signs of complications of high BP, this is not a time to joke with it. By all means, start your high BP reversal. Okay. This person says, "What are your questions?" This person says, "If you sit with me, you ask me your vision and your mission." Our vision, our mission. Our vision, you already know our vision. Our vision is beyond just education. We do a lot of education already. You see a lot of free videos on our YouTube, on our TikTok, everywhere. That is mass vision. But we also have personal vision of, we want to be able to look at, oh, Mr. This, we helped Mr. This go from 7 medicines to 0 medicines, from broken family because of bad, poor libido to a happy family. From this, we want to be able to impact, that's our vision, our mission, to be able to look at, we solve this problem from the bottom completely for this person. That's what the IBP reversal program is. That's why it's not it's a personalized program to solve your problems completely. No questions really. I just want to appreciate you for trying to help people reverse high BP. Thank you so much. That is from Tolu. Thank you so much. This person says how to maintain a steady balance. This is from Idara. How to maintain a steady balance BP for those who have been able to achieve lower BP readings before joining the challenge to prevent future spikes. Yes, preventing future spikes is really, really important because you want to make sure that you're in control. So the whole idea is, if you know what got you here, you want to keep doing what got you here. So there is maintenance phase. Maintenance phase is, there are two phases to this thing. So for all of us that are, maybe your BP has still not normalized, right? You have to be in the active reversal phase. That is where you are actively pushing back. That is why we're saying do 90 days. 3 months, you are actively pushing back. Even if your BP drops in 2 weeks, you don't jump off and say, I've reversed this BP, I reverse high BP in 2 weeks, and then you walk away. No, you don't do that. Don't make that mistake. So that's the mistake many people make. That's why we tell you 90 days. There is a reason we say 90 days, and it's whether you are working with us or not. Give yourself 90 days. But in the 90 days, make sure it is active reversal that you're doing, not just today I'm trying my best today, tomorrow you leave it, something must kill a man. No, don't do that. Now, for like even the people I told you, oh, they did it in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, they didn't stop. Oh, they still follow through the whole, because it's a body repair process, not just once your BP drops, you now say, I've finished. Mhm. So also, if you know what got you here where you are, like okay, you'll be able to achieve lower BP reading. Now it depends. How did you achieve your lower BP reading? I think we had this conversation yesterday. I sent you a voice note when you sent me a message, and I said, how did you achieve this BP reading? If you achieved it based on body repair strategy, then at least you know what got you here. Now, once you get here, you want to maintain it. Maintenance phase doesn't is not really as like you don't put in a lot more effort. I mean, my father has been off of high BP medicines for over 7 years, and he's not in active reversal phase. Um he is in the maintenance phase. So he's not everything what he was doing back then is not what he's doing now. Now he's just maintaining it and he's fine. So also, if you know what got you here, keep doing it. Basically, that's what I would say. But you also need to know how to look. So it all depends on what got you here. If it is supplements that got you here, it means that you have to keep taking the supplements. You see, that's the problem with doing supplements or remedies. If you stop the supplements, then you are back to square one. But if you have successfully repaired your body, that is how you see people. We have people that have done this thing. 2 years later, their BP is still normal. Why? Because they have successfully repaired their bodies. The readings they are getting is not a supplement reading. Even if they don't even take any supplements. In fact, all the person I told you that got readings lower than 2 weeks, it was not supplements. She had not even got, so it's her body repair. So whatever it is that got you here, continue doing it, right? And then make sure that you're tracking. Tracking is key. When you're tracking, it will help you to detect what is causing the spikes, and then you're able um to work on it. For instance, we have a client that we're currently working with. She has had her good readings for 9 straight weeks. She had completely reversed hers. She had had her readings for 9 straight weeks, and she has a very interesting story. I'll ask her if she can come, on here, maybe on the Facebook group. We could do like a live interview with her. We have her on video as well. She has already done that with us as well. I'll share that with you guys next tomorrow. But she has a very interesting story because she did challenge last year. After challenge, she was like, yes, 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 I've learned it. And then she started to do, I don't know why, but somehow she did not reverse the high BP on her own. Right? So I don't know. Like, I'm just telling you this woman's story. Hopefully, when she comes, people will ask her, why did you not do it on your own? A year later, she did challenge the last challenge we did. She's like, I said, why do you want to join challenge? She said she just wants to be motivated all over again. I said, fine, come, let's do this together, right? So she did challenge again, and after that one, she sends me a message. She's like, you know what? I just see. I'm done trying to figure it out on my own. I want to do it again. Like I want to solve this problem before the end of this year. I'm like, yeah, Mama, let's do this. That woman, she started getting beautiful readings, and she has had those readings for 10 straight weeks. Like, I mean, 100 over something. I could forward it to the WhatsApp group after this message. She's been getting great readings. She successfully reversed the BP. Why? What changed? I asked her what changed. She said, oh, I don't like process. I guess following the process changed for her. But here's what's making me tell this story. Last week, she had a spike. And it was strange because, I mean, you have had straight readings for 10 straight weeks. Her brother, who is a pharmacist, said, check your BP while standing. Check on the left hand. Check on the right hand. Check the BP monitor. Go and use the mercury. Go and use that. He could not believe it. He's like, are you sure it's not possible? Everybody was telling her it's not possible. But man, this babe's reading are so good. 100 over 70. Who will ask her to? And she dropped 2 medicines. And yet she was getting 100 over something. So there is no way, no doctor is going to tell you to take 2 medicines when you're getting 100 over 7 something. It's not possible. So everybody was asking her. She had a spike. And then I'm like, why? Why are you having a spike? And her previous readings were all good. Only for one day the thing spiked. I said, okay, so let's start searching. What is it? We kept searching. What is it? What is it? What is it? It turns out that she went to buy this particular seasoning in the market that they told her it was turmeric. And she bought it and she used it to cook. And that was what gave her the spikes. spike day one, day two. I'm like, no, there is no, it's something, you have introduced something into your life that was not there. We're able to troubleshoot, and we were able to find out that it was that product that she bought. So sometimes, but why we were so sure that it is something she had introduced is because we know that she had already reversed this BP. So this was just a pure case of something was spiking it up, was spiking it. And then she poured away that pot of food she cooked. She threw away the spice. She's like, what did these guys put inside this? I said, you see, that is why we have trusted brands. If you want to get your spices, we have trusted brands that it is what they say is in it that is in it. So sometimes you may be saying, let me look for organic, and you go and buy nonsense in the market. Do you know that today? So she sent me her readings today. Her number has gone back to normal. I'm like, yeah, this is your normal reading. She's like, yes. I was so happy for her. So, but the reason we're able to pinpoint it is because we know that she had cleaned out everything. So there was something. It was easy to just say, okay, this is it. And the moment we found it, her BP is back to normal. That is the difference between that is the difference between spike caused by uncontrolled BP and spike that you have when you have reversed your BP. I don't know if you took out any lesson from this story I just shared with you. This next person says, why is BP high despite having 8 hours straight sleep? This is from Funke. Your BP is high despite 8 hours of full sleep, of straight sleep, because what is the triggers for your BP is not the sleep, it's not poor sleep. Remember when we told you that that trigger checklist we gave you is for you, the obvious. There are also hidden triggers. Also, it's not, you know how someone says, oh, my BP was high, let me go and sleep, and you keep sleeping, sleep for 3 days. Sleep is not a cure for high BP. So even if you go and do bed rest of 3 days, it is not a cure for high BP. So yes, you have fixed the sleep, but are there other triggers? Is your body under oxidative stress or inflammatory stress? Are there other triggers in your body? Do you have a high salt content in your body, in your system? Do you understand? There are so many other things. So yes, you have slept for 8 hours, but all those other triggers are still there, right? Your body is still probably in a case of chronic stress, so it's not even the sleep that it's needing. So that is why your BP can still be high even after 8 hours of sleep. That is why we always say reversal is cleaning out your body from the inside out, repairing your body from the inside out. Yes, these things on their own, it may look like, okay, so high, low salt diet, this. Don't try to take these things in isolation, which is what you already have been doing. There is nobody here that does not know that you should eat a low salt diet. There is nobody here. There is nobody here that does not know that you should do exercise. There is nobody here that doesn't do some form of exercise, right? If you take it in isolation, it does not mean high BP reversal. The reversal happens when you do it systematically, step by step. That is when reversal and body repair starts to happen. So don't go and do 8 hours of sleep. If you sleep very well, it means the sleep is not your trigger, but there are other triggers in your life. And to clean out all these other triggers all at the same time, that is why we say use the mind body freedom method, and then you clean it out, and that's how you reverse high BP. This person, Mr. Ebenezer, thank you for your answer. Let me see. What did you say? Yes, there will always be provision for improvement. Okay, no, this is not the question. I would like to ask about fiber diet and potassium food. Please, what I want you to give examples. Does low intake of them or increase help me to crush my numbers? So yeah, I know that under food triggers, we kind of break it down like, okay, low, high sodium, low potassium, low fiber. That was just us trying to say that in your food, there can be as many as 5 triggers. One of the greatest secrets I'll tell you is don't take anything in isolation. Taking a thing in isolation will not help you to solve the problem. Why am I saying this? Because most people here are already working on their food. We had someone say, I do everything. I have zero trigger, yet my BP is still above 160/100. That is because they have been doing everything in isolation. But your question is, will taking low high potassium help me? Yes, it will help you. High potassium foods like your watermelon, um, your sweet potatoes, they're all sources of potassium, right? Fiber diet, your vegetables are sources of fiber, right? Does low intake of them help me to crush my numbers? Yeah. So basically, high salt means cut down. High salt diet means cut down your salt, right? So yes, doing these things would help you with your numbers. They all, if you read up all these things they share on Google, they'll tell you cutting down your sodium intake can remove maybe 5 millimeters of mercury systolic or diastolic, right? So yes, they all help. However, one thing that will help you very, very well is do a full reversal diet. I don't know how to keep stressing this thing without making it look like I'm stressing joint high BP reversal program. But if you want specifics, more specifics and hand holding, please join the high BP reversal program. When you go through it, you would then see the huge difference between I watch what I eat and when you are now reversing your BP and seeing the kind of numbers you start to get, it's a whole different ball game. And it's because we've locked down the processes. Please drop the links for people that want to book a call. If you don't want to book a call, no issues. Let me see. Let me look at the chat. I've been getting messages here on YouTube, so I want to see what's happening in the chat. Thank you. So someone says, no questions. I just want to appreciate the Hypertension Africa. Who is this? Jingo, Gina Logan. Thank you for organizing this challenge. It has been enlightening and has given me hope. Thank you guys as I start doing the do. Thank you very much. I love that it has given you a lot of hope. That's our goal, to give you hope, to get you out of that rut. Nobody see it's hard. One of the reasons that we do the high BP reversal program and we always want to add you in a small, close knit group and micro community is that trying to figure it out on your own can be hard. Trying to face everything on your own can be hard. So, but doing it with people and seeing people share, oh, I couldn't sleep last night, but now I sleep, and you're still in that sleep rut, you'll be like, wow, if they're getting it, I will get it too. That's why I'm reading out all these positives as well, so that you would also. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Chijoke. I see your message. All right. So that's how you'll be able to follow. What was I saying? I was saying that I'm glad that we have given you hope to actually push. Trust me, you need all the hope that you can get. You need all the motivation you can get. As those people on High BP Reversal Program, motivation is our second name, but it helps you keep pushing because that's the only way you get a crushing. And when we say 90 days, 90 days could look long. I remember one woman, when the first time, not the first time, but a long time ago, when we said, hey, let's work with you for 3 months. And then she jumped on 3 months. Later, she came back to say, my husband said, no, you can't do 3 months. You don't like to commit to things. Do 30 days first. I said, madam, we know they do 30 days BP reversal here. We don't do such. We only do commit to the long haul. Forget about how am I going to do. I'm a commitment freak. I will fall off. What if I fall off? Forget about it. Just jump in. Trust the process. And one of the things that will help you to trust the process is you've seen all these people that we're sharing with you about. Look for one person and anchor on them. I've told you about the woman that had it for 8 years. I've told you about the man that had it for 13 years. I've told you so many. Just anchor. If someone that had it for 13 years could go from 160 over 100, 3 medicines to 1 drug, or to 0 drugs, I too would. So just hold that person as your anchor and jump in. Forget about every other thing. Just trust the process. And then when you start to experience it, within that 30 days, you'll be like, what? This is the best decision I ever made. So that's really how it works. If you try to figure it out on your own, are you sure? What if? What if? What if? Mm-mm. Someone called me today, one of the men that I enrolled. He called and said, I will be away for a while, so I'm not going to be home, but I will be away. Am I going to be able to follow? I'm like, okay, so what are your concerns? Like, okay, we've had people that during the program, they actually travel. They travel to Canada. And they're able to follow while they're there. Why? Our job is to work around whatever it is with you. We will work out how it will work out for you, even wherever you are. Even if you travel, no problem. Would work with what you have. We had a young man, 29-year-old. 29-year-old, we worked with his, like, he couldn't hold down a job because of this whole high BP thing. We worked with him, which is within his situation. Before the end of the program, that guy got two jobs back to back. He was shuttling between Lagos and I think Umuahia or somewhere. He got another job, like someone that thought he was going to die when he joined the challenge. Forget the whole project. Just trust the project. Just jump in. Start. Leave the rest. Then this person says, please, ma, after this high BP reversal program, is there any other program coming up? I would have loved to join, but I don't have money now. So here's what I always tell people. If you have 55, right? 55,000, just start. Do it monthly and then just follow. If you have 55, just start and then just do it monthly. Don't wait till you gather all the whole 150. You may never, you keep saying, I will, I will, I will. And then you see yourself 1 year later. And the bad thing, the really, really bad thing that breaks my heart is in that 1 year that you were trying to gather the money, you could have solved the problem in the first 3 months and you would have been so well that you might even be in a better, you will be in a better position to make a lot more money that you use for other things. But in that 1 year, you will still be spending on that your BP issue. Someone will still be selling you some supplements that you will still be buying and using that would still give you relief. And like, do you understand? Some people, the worst part of everything is that some people's symptoms worsen. They get complications, terrible complications in that 1 year that they are waiting for the right time. Tell me the next time, the next time, the next time. And then they're now in a very, very bad spot. When they come back, I'm like, you know it's going to be harder for you now, right? So if you are just thinking, "Ah, will it, may I, should I, could I?" If you just have 55, just put in your one leg, start first of all. You would have solved that problem before the end of March next year. Instead of you to be waiting for, tell me when the next one will start. Anything will happen. There was a woman, first time we started high BP reversal program, first set of people, when we decided to make it 3 months. Initially, it used to just be 6 weeks, but not everybody's problem is solved in 6 weeks. So when we decided to make it, this woman was one of the first people that we had these conversations with. She came. I said, Madam, let's do this thing. I told her, this is the problem, mind, body. She was writing notes, writing. She said, okay, is that all? She went home. She thought it was by writing. That woman, it took her 1 year later, she came back. She had developed diabetes with it. I said, Madam, but you were writing that day. Why didn't you at least even start something? She did not do anything. 1 year later, she was on 7 drugs. I'm like, Madam, you see what has happened to you in 1 year. And then there, that first year, she was like, your money is too expensive now. Maybe is this thing I see you advertising on Facebook, 2,000, 1,000. I said, Madam, nobody they reverse high BP for 2,000 naira. She refused. She said, no. Do you know when she came back? The fees are doubled by 6 times. She now paid. Don't be that person. Also, we cannot actually assure you that the fees will remain what it is right now. We cannot assure you that. That's one thing we cannot assure. So if you can, jump in now. So that 1 year later, you would have even solved the problem and you would have even been one of the people that got in when the fees were still doable. Right? So that's just what I would say. If you can, please just send a message. Let's talk about it. Let's work out whatever it is that you need to work out. If you want to wait, okay, when you get paid December 1, December 2, no problem. Let's talk about it and let's just work it out with you. We want to help you wherever you are. Let me take a look at these other comments and I'll look at Zoom and then we're out of here. So that's Uyoshira. Sorry, I hope I'm pronouncing your name well. Uyoshiora. If you want us to talk about this, maybe work out something, send a message and then we can work about it. We can talk about it. What can cause headache and foot pain when I wake up in the morning? Anything. Maybe you didn't sleep well, you're not well rested, maybe what you took in the night, maybe your sleeping posture, maybe your bed, maybe you're facing the fan and it's blocking your head and your nostrils. It could be anything. Foot pain, it could be arthritis. Tawakali too. You did not answer my question. Okay, so that's the one of foot pain when I wake up in the morning. So it could be anything. So until we kind of start to narrow down, we do backs and forths, find out what exactly it is. It could be your shoes. Maybe your shoes, you're wearing uncomfortable shoes, right? It could be anything. So we need to be able to work that angle and see what it is. So my people on Zoom, you people should talk. Oh yeah, unmute yourself. Who wants to talk to me? Unmute yourself. Let us talk right now. Because I'm here for you like 100%. Unmute yourself. Thank you all our YouTube folks. I've been answering your questions on YouTube. Tawakali too. Unmute yourself if you want to ask me any question. I'm here for you. You guys joined on Zoom because you wanted to talk to me, right? So here's your chance. Don't play with it. I've answered all the questions, those that submitted beforehand. I've answered the ones of those that submitted while on YouTube right now. Let me see the chats in the Zoom if there are anybody dropping questions, or if you want to unmute yourself, we talk about your questions. Okay, someone has also dropped the what can cause headache and foot pain when I wake up in the morning? Thank you. I think I've answered that question. Someone, yeah, use the link to join the waitlist. Yes, that is already in the chat on YouTube, on Zoom. You can send us a message and let's talk about it. This is Infinix Hot 8. I don't think you can hear. Can you hear us? How do I deal with, oh, thank you. Ronke asked, how do I deal with anxiety with BP issue? Like I get scared over little things. I'll start shaking after receiving or hearing bad news. Yes, Ronke, um, it's a big thing, right? These anxiety issues can be a big thing. So, how to deal with it is you need a lot of mind detox. You're going to do very well with the mind detox. What our mind detox is like our proprietary um, um, procedure. That's what we call it, like a proprietary creation, where mighty that you have is rooted, is like is sub. And the thing that fuels this subconscious is because in the past, most likely, you know how. So let me explain what this subconscious thing is. For instance, maybe this whole BP thing, maybe you've had a scare in the past. Maybe it's caused you to be hospitalized in the past. And I'm just talking generally, I'm not talking about you, okay? Maybe you've had a bad experience in the past. Maybe you know someone that, oh, you lost to high BP. So your brain automatically associates high BP with these scary things. So what that does for you is once you think about it, your mind skips a beat, right? Now, that's for you to break that association. You also need a positive thing that your mind can start to associate with BP. That is why the high BP reversal method has the mind liberation as the root or the foundation, as the pillar, as where you start from. Because you want to first of all start with, like where we taught you our affirmations. You have to first of all start to, even this, like this challenge that we've done a lot of mind detours. You may not know, but you can see a lot of people in the chat saying, I now know I can crush high BP, I now believe it is possible, I now, that is, we're already helping you to consciously associate that, oh, high BP can be reversed. Everybody on this call now already starts to feel like, yeah, I can reverse high BP, yes or no? Because we have been hammering it into your head. We've been sharing people's stories with you. We've been telling you, oh, giving you examples. We're already reconditioning your mind. But you need a step further. You need to, even in your body, be able to associate that BP. You're able to see your BP getting better. The moment you start to see better readings on your BP monitor, your brain now starts to associate, wow, these things I'm learning and this BP I'm getting, they are now beginning to work together. Then it's easier for you the next time it's something you get an issue. It's easier for your brain to quickly recall, but I'm getting good readings. For instance, the woman I told you that had a spike this week, I mean, this is Wednesday, like last week, weekend. because she has had good readings for 10 straight weeks. It's easy for her, it's easy for me to tell her, like when she says, my baby, coach, my baby has gone up. I said, as it went up, it will calm down. It's easy for her to laugh over it and like, yes, so because she has seen positively in her body what was possible. She's able to associate BP reversal theory with practical in her body. So as I tell her, and of course I can tell her that because I mean she's our client, we've worked with her already. Like we've already worked, she has seen it at another level. So they're like, coach, look at what's happening. I'll be like, okay, don't worry, it will calm down. Give it time, it will calm down. And she's able to go back to rest. One of our clients, she had a spike one day and she's like, I want to go to church. And this is it. And I said, Madam, go to church now. Go to your church. Why? And I could tell her to go to church, even though she had a spike on a Saturday, because she has worked on her mind. She has also seen that positive and she's been able to. So you need to actively have wins in your body so that your body, your brain too can start to associate wins with your body. So it starts to help you to deal with the anxiety issues. Also, you need to be actively working on it. So it's not something that you passively don't work on. That is why, like the person that kept saying, white coat. I said, go through reversal first. When you've reversed high BP and then it's only white coat left, you are in a better position to know, na small thing. I will be able to correct this one if I've reversed this whole thing. Do you understand? So whatever you do, yes, small thing, you said every little thing I'll start shaking or hearing bad news, no issues. Mind detox will help you. We teach at least 5 different techniques for mind detox. We're starting that on Thursday next week. We're taking you through 5 different ones. So with the 5, no matter which way the bad news is coming from, your body know the shape. We've had people on the program that they lose people. As in, this is something so serious. It's not that they didn't love these people. No. They actually experienced something as huge as grief, but their BP does not spike. Not because they are not pained, not because emotionally they are not torn, but because even their body is so in control that there is no spike. So I want you to experience that. At Runke, please join High BP Reversal Program. It's something that you need to work on, but on a more detailed level. Also, we would need to uncover some of those triggers or those subconscious things that are triggering the anxiety so that you'll be able to face them squarely and eliminate them from the roots. I hope that this helps you. I spent a lot of time answering your question. I love you like that. Some people will be angry like, why are you spending so much time on her question? What makes BP spike during sleeping or at night? But okay, during the day. It depends on how high it goes. During the night, there's something called circadian rhythm, nocturnal rhythm, and it's normal. So it's normal for your BP readings at night to differ from your BP readings during the day, to differ from your BP readings during the mornings. So it's normal. But what is abnormal is if the change across all throughout the day differs by like over 10. So if you're getting 160 at night and then getting 110 in the day, then it's not normal. Do you understand? It's the variation is too wide, so it's not normal. I promised you guys 45 minutes. You guys, we've done 1 hour plus. So I'm going to end this broadcast in the next 4 minutes. That is 9:15 based on my laptop time. So let me try to be move faster. So what makes BP spike during the day and at night, blah blah blah. So it's normal, but it depends on if it's very very wide, then it's not normal. Then I would definitely go the high BP reversal route to stop such spikes. Um, One of our past clients had something like that, and I'm like, Oga is not normal though. But the good thing is he has crushed both the high and the low and the spikes. Another thing you need to do is you need to monitor across board. So if you're monitoring nights, make sure you're doing nights throughout. If you're doing mornings, make sure you're doing mornings. Don't be comparing morning to night to morning to midnight to afternoon, right? It's then you are disregarding the circadian rhythm. Modupe says, please explain better the issue of plaque. Can the plaque be removed? If not, how will it affect BP? The plaque cannot be removed though. There is no way to remove it. But so that's like the first way to that's the first thing I'll say. Like you cannot remove the plaque with your hands. How you can dissolve the plaque is actively, you see, every so have you noticed that every answer to the question always goes back to reverse your high BP? And that's because if you really want to solve the problem completely, you don't want quick fixes. You don't want tomorrow, a month later, one woman called me today. She did our course. That's why we're telling you to join reversal program, because we want to work with you. We want to be there for you throughout and for you to completely reverse it, not for you to go through course. There's a reason why. She went through course, and she called today to say, Mama, I'm trying to find a meal plan. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. I'm now ready. I'm ready, but I will start. I will not start now. I'll start in January. You know, this festive period. This is it. I'm like, okay, why are you ready now? Why am I saying her own case? She will start, she will stop. She will say she didn't even print out meal plan. This is what can happen to you when you just feel like, I will do it. Don't worry. I will do it. I'm trying my best. But if you face it squarely and say, I want to reverse this thing, you will solve all the problems. Just outline all the problems. You will solve it from the roots, from the inside out, one by one. It will clear. Madam Moraya, I told you about, we are going to see her video next tomorrow. The one that had high BP for 8 years. Her cholesterol was high when we started high BP reversal program. I have 1 minute more. I'm looking at the time, 9:15. We're ending this broadcast. She had her cholesterol. So what causes that plaque is high cholesterol that deposits along your blood vessels. So when it deposits along your it is no longer cholesterol, it's no longer oil, it now hardens and becomes plaque. I told her the same thing, Madam, let us solve this thing from the roots. Let us push. So it's possible to target everything. You're targeting the high cholesterol, you're targeting the plaque deposits, you're targeting the high BP, you're targeting the complications that have come with it, you're targeting the pains, you're targeting everything at the same time. That was what we did. Do you know that her readings, the same lab that she went, that everything was high cholesterol, 14 weeks later, she went to her doctor and they sent her to the same lab. Her readings, her cholesterol is even lower than everything has gone down. She did not take any single vessel cleanser, plaque destroyer, plaque dissolver, whatever everybody has been selling to you online. She never took anything. Why? She still followed this high BP reversal method. We worked with her and we're able to target everything. And the same result, I've told her to send me those results, to send me before and after. I can do, maybe we could do a juxtaposition of both of them so that you will see them. My point is, everything still comes back to reverse your high BP from the roots, number one. Number two, please, especially for those of us who've had this thing for long periods, let me beg you, don't say you're going to do it on your own. It is not a straight line. When we showed you roadmap yesterday, you saw the roadmap, it goes like this, undulating. It's not a straight line. It is not just this thing that we shared that, okay, I now know my triggers. Okay, I've now stopped eating out. It is not a straight line. Please, let us do roadmap with you. Let us monitor you weekly. Let us be doing the whole thing with you so that you will reverse all these plaque, sleep, high BP, pain, neck, leg, you will clean it out. And 3 months down the line, you will look back and be like, I feel 25. I hope that with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that high BP reversal method is the way and the only tried, tested, proven method that has worked for people of all races and all walks of life. And no matter how long they've had it, no matter the complications they present with, we've been able to show you that this is going to help you. And if you want us to work with you, we have just 5 slots left. Please send us a message right now. We'll jump on a call with you. Make sure that we can help you, right? And then we set your expectations right. It's just going to be a 10-minute call. And then we get started. You can tell us, I want to do one-time payment, or I want to pay instrumentally. That's fine. The link is in the is on Zoom. Click on it. If you're on YouTube, click on it. If you're on WhatsApp, click on it. The link is everywhere. My BP rises at night when I'm sleeping. It comes with body sensations that disturb my sleep, so I wake up with high BP every morning. Alice, send us a message so that we can talk about you and how we can help you further. I hope this has helped you. Tomorrow we're going to do what you get in the high BP for joining, and I'm gonna see you around. Have a great night ahead. I'm jumping on a call with Mr. Yunusa. If you're on this call, well, our call was already scheduled since 2 days ago. So we're jumping on a call after this. See you guys around.